Thank you everybody for having me today. It's rooms like this, of women like you, a couple men. It's the heart and soul of this great party. And this is where the heart beats of this great party. And this is rooms like this, around this state, and I'm speaking all around the state, where it starts, where we're going to take back this state. My name is Eric Early. I'm running for Attorney General of the once and future great state of California. But before I start talking, I just want to take a moment of silence for a great American. She passed away earlier this week. It was Barbara Bush. Thank you. Our state is in deep and serious trouble. It's why me, who's never been a politician in my life, said I have to step up. I couldn't take it anymore. Really, where crossed the line with me was when I woke up last year sometime, and like the rest of us, I found out that this character, Kevin De Leon, was now going to be calling us a sanctuary state. That's when I said, this is nuts. And that's when I talked to a lot of great people I know. I've been working behind the scenes in Republican politics for a number of years. I said, we got to do this. I formed a great team, and in October, we came out. And it's been an incredible race, an incredible run ever since. This sanctuary state law it's an outrage. And the title of this law is, it's a misnomer. It's a misrepresentation, like so many of the things these folks do. It should be called the Illegal Alien Felon Protection Act. That's what it should be called. Because that is what this bill is being used to protect. People who came here illegally, who've committed crimes since they got here, oftentimes violent crimes, oftentimes repeated crimes. And these characters up in Sacramento, led by the person I believe is public enemy number one these days, Mr. Becerra, is doing everything they can to protect these people. No state, no country has an obligation to protect a criminal who's not even a citizen of the country. And yet the sanctuary state law prevents state and local law enforcement from working with federal law enforcement, ICE, to out these people. And that's why when Jeff Sessions filed that lawsuit against our state about a month or so ago, I jumped up immediately and supported it. And that's why when this fellow Becerra had the temerity to threaten Orange County Sheriff Sandra Hutchins about 2 weeks ago, because of what she was doing regarding the sanctuary state law, I stepped up and I supported her. And last week, I was blessed to get Sandra Hutchins' endorsement. I met with the sheriff. She's a bold, brave, strong woman. This is exactly what we need, is people like Sandra Hutchins running things in this state, not this character, Becerra. And you know, it started with the people of Los Alamitos. I call them the pioneers. They were brave enough to say, enough is enough. We're not going to be subject to this arrogance that's been coming out of this one-party rule in Sacramento for years and years. This one-party control that thinks they can do anything, get away with anything. And Los Alamitos stepped up. And you see what's going on. There's a prairie fire that started in Orange County. It now has gone down to San Diego, and it's going to spread around this state. And it's the people taking democracy in their own hands because they've said enough is enough. And that's why I'm running, because enough is enough. And people are figuring it out around this state. And we're going to have a great turnout on June 5th of people, of Republicans, because Republicans are energized now to step up and do what it takes through the ballot box to replace these maniacs that have been running things up there forever. And it's not just Mr. Becerra I'm against. There's this other guy. I refer to him as Becerra's evil little twin. His name is Dave Jones, okay? He's about this big. He's, maybe that's too tall. He's the insurance commissioner. And, he's a whole other story. Anyhow, I see him being timed here. Other things, the emptying of the prisons. Outrageous. They lied to us to vote for Proposition 47 and 57, call 47 the Safe Neighborhoods and Schools Act. Oh, and then it now lets you to steal up to $950 and nothing happens. And then other things that mean a huge amount to me. Mental illness, homelessness, prescription drug abuse. Becerra doesn't know this exists because he's too, obsessed with suing Donald Trump. A bit about me, I've been a lawyer for 25 years. I've been fighting for my clients all over California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, San Francisco, and Florida. I own a law firm. I run a law firm of 25 lawyers. It's also a business. I'm a businessman. I make payroll every 2 weeks. I got two incredible kids, a 31-year-old. He's very successful in his own right. He has a charter airline company. I can't afford to fly in any of his planes. My daughter is about this big, about Dave Jones size. She's 26, she's tough as nails, she plays lead guitar in a rock and roll band. My dad, a legal immigrant to this country from Vienna, Austria. At 17, he immigrated and he enlisted in the Korean War, in the Marines. They sent him over. He fought in combat the Battle of Chosin Reservoir in North Korea. He came back with a Purple Heart. He started a great, solid, middle-class family. This race can be won. Like I said, I only got into politics in October. I've been endorsed by so many great people. Steve Cooley, the former district attorney in County of Los Angeles, came this close to beating Ms. Harris. Steve is a great guy. I'm working so closely with him on this campaign. Sandra Hutchins, Congressman Darrell Issa endorsed me. Congresswoman Mimi Walters endorsed me. And the list goes on and on. State Senate Republican leader Pat Bates. One of my favorites is President Reagan's former Secretary of State George Shultz endorsed me. I'm a Reagan Republican. When I meet with George Shultz, it's like I'm going to meet with the king. In fact, I saw him up at the Hoover Institute in Stanford 2 weeks ago. Incredible man, and his office is like a museum. This race can be won. Republicans are galvanizing. I'm reaching out to all parties and all people across the state. I'm from Los Angeles. I'm surrounded by Democrats. Oh yeah, and they've been hearing me talk about this for the last 10 years, and I've been taking them on every minute. I've been calling them communists and everything else. I had one partner who was supporting Bernie Sanders. I said, listen, I walked in his office one day, I said, listen, if your guy wins, let me know where to send 80% of your check to, okay? He looked at me like I was crazy and I walked out. They don't get it. This race can be won. I've got a slogan I don't really use, but Mark, you'll hate this. Our next Secretary of State, my last name's Early. Vote early, vote often. But no, we won't use that one, Mark, because it's not. You be my first problem. First of all, thank you again for having me. It's not too late for California. Vote early for Attorney General. Thank you, everybody. Let's take back the state. We're going to take it back.